Hi, Captain Mike Hogan here. Today we're trolling south of Martha's Vineyard for tuna and hopefully some mahi-mahi. We're fishing a traditional spread, which is a mix of bulb squids, green machines, cedar plugs, and tinkler chains. And we're here because there's a nice warm water eddy that is spun off from the Gulf Stream. We're about 13 miles southeast of the southeast corner. And we haven't talked to any boats that have been here yet, so we're fishing blind. We're going to look for bait, look for birds. But more importantly, we're going to work the edge between the warm water and the cold water.
Double up!
Double up, double up, double up. Brennan, punch it, punch it, punch it. Now one trick we like to do is accelerate the throttle as we hook up. This will probably a school of frigate mackerel. And we got two guys on the boat here, so we're going to get to it. So as you can see, good first step before handling the fish is clearing all the extra lines. Today it's just the two of us, so we're going to leave the boat in idle and clear the lines. Okay, so the fish came in on the bars. There's Brennan boating a small yellowfin. Alright, so this is a small school-sized yellowfin, so Brennan's going to release that. So you just can't beat this morning light. We just drove by a school of frigate mackerel and picked up what appears to be these two small yellowfin tuna. On the bars, the inside riggers. A little football yellowfin tuna. On greasy, calm days like today, I like to fish our 42-inch, 6-inch squid bar on our inside long line. These bars are very lightweight, they have very little drag, but you can see with this 42-inch frame and all the baits, it creates a nice little bait ball effect on the surface, helps bring fish into the spread. This is a Pierno 30 with very little resistance. There you have it. 2 on. So we cleared the lines, keeping constant pressure on this fish. I'm always keeping that fish right off the corner here. So I just put my starboard engine in gear. The fish is taking more line out. So I'm putting a big bend in this rod. This is a fairly stiff rod. So you want to keep constant pressure on that fish. Remember, when the fish rests, so do you. Now, let me rephrase that. When you rest, so does the fish.
You turn down tide, turn to the south.
Yeah,
this current will take you down. We're drifting astern right now.
So, port or starboard in gear?
Starboard in gear, circle around. Then you're probably good because the current's taking, so the wind's blowing us south.
Those fishes. See, when you gaff a fish, you want to aim for its head. There we go. Alright, so we got 2 rods hooked up here. Again, we're short staffed, so I'm going to leave the camera in a minute, but right now we're going to clear the lines and land these fish. Alright, now these are barely legal fish, so we just need 1 or 2 for the table. We're going to release this guy. Now, he's been out of the water a little bit. Like I said, we're understaffed. So I'm just going to swim this fish. There it goes. So we have our spread out, and I just like to share a couple of notes as far as letting the lines out. There is a little bit of a method to it. For starters, when we first get out, I always let out the 2 flatline clips. The 2 flatline clips are the closest we have. They're right behind the boat. I like to get just something in the water fast. I fish them in tight in that first clear spot in the wake. Right now we have a green machine daisy chain and a tickler chain. We've been swapping out the flatline clips today, but that's seeming to work best for us. Then when I let the 2 longer lines out, I always let the outside line out first. That will minimize tangles. So I let the long line out first. You can see way back. Right now I have a splasher bar chain with 9-inch bolt squids. Then in tight on the inside outrigger, that's the one I let out after the long rigger, because you want to let the long one out first and then the inside one so you don't get any tangles. Fish are jumping everywhere. We got fish.
Fish on. Hit the spot. Mark the spot.
Now the number one objective when finding these fish is just to always keep that line tight. Now we're fishing a lot of bars today, so the fish has a lot of drag. So the fish gets tired out more quickly. But still they will swim at you, especially if you take the boat out of gear. The wind can drift the boat back on the fish. So just to keep the right angle, sometimes I just put either the port or starboard engine in gear. So I like to keep that fish right off the corner. Once you get to that vertical position, short pumps will tire the fish out a little faster. Now the fish is starting to swim past us, so I'm going to put the boat in gear just a touch. Now this fish isn't terribly large. These are light tackle gear. I'm guessing it is a little yellowfin. He's a small enough fish where I'm just going to swing over the side. You can see how much drag that fish was carrying around in the water. This is a 42-inch squid bar with little 6-inch squids and a little off-colored 9-inch stinger. Now the size limit for yellowfin tuna is a 27-inch fork length. I'm guessing this guy's fine, but that's why I didn't gaff him. I just wanted to measure this fish first before putting a hole in him. And that fish is just 28 inches. And now this fish has been on the deck for probably 10 minutes and it's still kicking. As you can see, it's still in a position to be bled properly, and it's the best kept secret in offshore fishing is running a saltwater washdown hose through the fish's gills. It gets your lines back in the water quickly, allows you to get back on the hot bite, and still have awesome tuna. Now, in my opinion, I think the key to successful offshore fishing is making a series of small changes. Now, I like to start with a traditional mixed spread where I have a mix of colors and lure styles. For example, we started with a mixture of green machines, high-speed squids, cedar chains, tinkler chains. But as we caught and kept each fish, we looked inside and we looked at what they had for bait. We noticed also that the fish were seeming to go for the bulb squids. So rather than make a wholesale change to switch over to bulb squids, we swap things out one at a time, and our hookup ratio went up. And sometimes you have a formula that works, so you don't want to change too much. And but today was a day where we started the traditional mixed spread, we gradually tweaked it, and we noticed a couple of things. One, they wanted the squids both in rainbow and green and white. Number two, the fish that we are catching, we're coughing up predominantly really fresh squid, so we know they're keyed in on squid that happen to be about 6 inches, about the size of our bulb squids. And then lastly, you notice that the fish wanted the baits fast today for some reason. I changed my speeds. One of the questions I get asked a lot is how fast do you troll when you're offshore, and I always say, well, it depends. You know, what do the fish want? Today's a very calm day, so I tend to troll a little faster on calm days, a little slower on rough days. I changed my speeds today. We were trolling up north of 8 knots, and when we got a hit, we'd punch it all the way up to 12 or 13, and oftentimes that would trigger a second or a third fish.